guys, it's Leah. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new, and welcome to my TBR jar picks what I will be reading for September. I'm so excited because from here on out I'm in autumn mode. I am so ready for all of the autumnal reads, the fantasy reads, the really atmospheric reads. I cannot wait. It is the best time of the year, period. But especially when it comes to reading, I'm so excited. It's the first month where we're getting into autumn and I can't wait. So we're gonna get straight on into it. I think for my September TBR, normally I do choose 10 prompts that I pick from the TBR jar, and obviously that correlates to a book that I will need to read in the month. I normally do pick 10. Last month I think I ended up picking 7. I think again I am going to pick 7 because I have so many videos planned for the rest of the year in autumn that I need to read specific books for that maybe aren't on my TBR yet, slash I don't even know what they're going to be. Like, I don't even know what the TBR for these videos are, so I don't know. And to be on the safe side, I think we're going to pick 7. So actually, I should probably shake it because it has been a month. Going straight for it, the first prompt that we are gonna pick is gonna be this one. And this one is water on the cover. So a book with water on the cover. I can't even think of any off the top of my head. I know one, I can definitely see one, but I don't know if I want to read this. It doesn't scream autumnal to me. It's obviously The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. This obviously has water, that's the sea. And I don't know, I've had this on my TBR for years. I've heard really great things, I've heard really mixed things. I don't know if I ever am actually going to get to this, but I thought I'd put it on my TBR cart for today. Just as a potential maybe if I want a really cozy read. If anyone has read this, wait, I might have to pick this if there's no other. But whether I do pick it or not, if you have read this and it's worth the read, even like now, like years after the hype, please let me know. Maybe Stranger. Oh my god, there is. That's Rain. So Strangers by Taichi Yamada. I don't know if you can see. Okay, you can. There's little like drops of rain. This is the book that inspired All of Us Strangers, I think is what it's called, with Paul Mescal. And I have been dying to watch that film. I know it's going to rip my heart out. I have been terrified to watch it, to be honest. I don't really know anything about this other than what it says on the front, which is memorably uncanny, a sharp, chilling, contemporary ghost story. Those are like so many of my buzzwords. I know it's sad and everyone cries at it. It's like a love story, but there is like a magical realism. I'm assuming like a paranormal element too. I'm very intrigued by it, and it is also really short. I feel like this would be a perfect book to get into autumn. I am gonna go for Strangers by Taichi Yamada, respectfully to House in the Cerulean Sea. This screams more autumn for me. I'm gonna pick it. I'm so excited. I've heard really good things about both the book and the movie. I can't wait. We know I love a translated fiction, especially if it's like some sort of like literary horror or a little bit uncanny. That is the first book we're going to be reading. I am extremely happy with that. For the second prompt, let's go for this one. This one feels like a big one, and it feels like I have never opened it before, so it might be one that we've never done. And it is gives me, this could not be more perfect. Gives me summer into autumn vibes. Okay, that is literally the perfect prompt. Summer into autumn vibes. I feel like that's so subjective. Summer into autumn vibes, I feel like we could definitely do Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young, just because summer screams romance to me. I don't know what it is about this one, but this one feels like it's going to be quite cozy. I kind of have purposely left it to read it in the second half of the year. I don't know. I might have completely made that up. If not, one that I have, again, been meaning to read for years, like actually 4 years, is The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I cannot believe that I still haven't read this. I have read so many of Sylvia Plath's poems. I have loved so many of them. Her life deeply fascinated me, yet equally breaks my heart. The fig tree analogy changed my life. I haven't even read this book. I am just very intrigued by it. I know it has quite mixed reception for many reasons. Do I feel like it's going to be a product of its time? Most likely. Do I feel like it's going to be outdated? Probably, absolutely. I am very aware when I read books around this sort of era. On modern classics or classics in general, I have read so many of them. I also studied them at uni, so I'm aware when reading books like this that it is a product of its context, and 9 times out of 10 probably going to be very outdated. I have heard slight discussions of that with The Bell Jar. I'm just very intrigued by it. I feel like it is a staple. I feel like I do at some point need to read it. I don't know if now is the time, but it does kind of give me summer into autumn vibes with whatever reason. Take that as you will. Honestly, I feel like I am just going to go for The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath because I am so intrigued by it. I've been so intrigued by it for years. I am very excited. I don't think excited is the word. I'm very fascinated by the conversations surrounding this book and Sylvia Plath's life. I am just very intrigued. And I feel like this does scream a September read to me, so god, I was not expecting this. The second book that I'm going to be reading in September is The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. On to the third prompt. Let's go for this one, and this one is, okay, Jesus, a long one. Sake. A book published the year I was born. We have had this prompt before and we were not able to find one, so we had to repick. Let's see. I doubt it. I really doubt it. Okay guys, there's not going to be a book from 2001, absolutely not. They're either going to be pre the 2000s or last year. We're gonna have to repick. Third prompt again, we'll just go for, okay, oh my god, there's two. We'll go for that one. Another small one that doesn't look like I've ever opened it before. It is most recently recommended. I have picked that before. Again, I feel like this one is quite subjective. I could do it as most recently recommended, like in my real life or at work because I am a bookseller, or equally like a book that someone recommended to me online. Okay, wait, there is actually one. Do I pick it? I have spoken about this book so many times in so many TBRs. It has been sat on my TBR cart for like, I don't even know how many months, but enough months for you guys to say that I need to finally pick it up. I don't know. I'm terrified when I tell you that The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang is one of the books that I am most intimidated to read in my entire TBR. I would say that this one is not necessarily the most recently recommended because I have been recommended this book since the crack arse of dawn, but one of my best friends is actively fighting for her life for me to read this book, and we did kind of say that I would potentially read it in September. The most recent conversation that I've had in my real life where I'm talking about a book and somebody is like kind of convincing me to read it would be this one. Guys, I think I'm gonna have to do it. I feel like I would be lying. I would be cheating the system if I chose anything else. Mailer, it might be happening, babe. Okay, if not now, when? I'll never get to it. We're gonna pick The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I'm not prepared for this book. Going on to the fourth prompt, let's go for this one. And this one is a book under 200 pages. Thank the Lord. I don't know if we're gonna have any. If I can read this book, I'm instantly gonna add it onto my TBR. It is She Is Always Hungry by Eliza Clark. This is a proof copy of Eliza Clark's newest book coming out in November. I am so happy that I got my hands on it. Thank you so much, Faber. If Eliza Clark has no fans, I'm dead. I am obsessed with everything she has ever written, like Boy Parts and Penance. I have adored them both, like so close both to being 5 stars. I believe that this is actually a short story collection as opposed to one big novel, but I am so intrigued to read short stories from her. But is it under 200 pages? Oh, okay, it's not. It's 224. I feel like that was the one we were most likely going to be able to read. Another short one, The Sundial by Shirley Jackson. This one is 221. Wait. You are joking. The Earth is Falling by Carmen Pellegrino. That's 201 pages. That's Sick and Twisted. If we can't find any other one, I might just allow myself that because I'm very excited for this. Okay, the last one that I'm going to check, if not, I am going to go for The Earth is Falling, is The Book of All Loves by Agustin Fernandez Marlowe. Another one that I've had on my TBR cart for so long that I've spoken to you guys so many times about because I'm so excited to read it. I am on a mission to read more Fitzcarraldo editions after It Lasts Forever and Then It's Over by Ann Demarkin becoming my favourite read of the year so far. This one, like that book, also sounds very post-apocalyptic. It sounds beautiful. It sounds perfect to me. I don't know if it's going to be under 200 pages though, babe. Oh my god, wait. I don't want to read the last line, but it is 184 pages. On the blurb, it briefly reads, blending fiction and essay, poetry and philosophy, Agustin Fernandez Marlowe's The Book of All Love is a startling, expansive work of imaginative agility, one that renders love unfamiliar so as to renew it, and makes the case for hope in the midst of a disintegrating present. Sounds like one of my favourite books. I'm so excited. That is the fourth book we're going to be reading. Okay, hoping for something like then, the fifth prompt, let's go for this one. And this one is a cover that matches the outfit I'm currently wearing. Oh my god, wait, I've just realised what book we can pick. So the outfit I'm currently wearing, I'm wearing pyjama shorts that I'm not about to humble myself to put on the internet, but the t-shirt that I'm currently wearing is my new Noah Khan Stick Season t-shirt. After seeing him yesterday, I'm not going to talk about it. I sobbed like a little bitch. This is obviously like a dark green. The first book that came to my mind, guys, you know I've been fighting for my life to get this on my TBR. It actually kind of matches. You cannot tell me that the bottom of this book is not near enough the same colour as this. And this book is obviously One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I wanted something light. We don't yet have a light fantasy on the TBR. I say light because obviously we have The Poppy War, but this I've been wanting to read for so long. All year I've been wanting to read it, but equally I've been wanting to save it for autumn. I have really high expectations for this. All I know is that it's a gothic fantasy duology. That is all I want to know before going into it. I'm so excited. Without a doubt, we are picking One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. If you've read it, please let me know. Above all else, I'm so happy that I'm going to read this. At the sixth prompt, we'll go for this tiny one. Okay, and this one is ends on an odd number of pages. Okay, so a page count I don't know why I'm explaining it. You know what that means. A book that ends on an odd number of pages. I really do want to read She's Always Hungry by Eliza Clark. Wait, we just said what number that ended on. What was that? The last page count is 223. Okay, without a doubt, because I am so excited to read this, we're going to go for She's Always Hungry by Eliza Clark. On the back it says unsettling, revelatory, and laced with her signature dark humour, Eliza Clark's debut short story collection plumbs the depths of the most basic human feeling, hunger. I am so excited. And then last but certainly not least, the last and 7th prompt for a book that I'm going to be reading in September. We'll go for this one. I'll let you guys see this first. I don't know if that's focusing. Okay, I'm trying not to look. It is set in one night / 24 hours. How am I meant to find that out? We're definitely not gonna have any. Okay, Shirley Jackson. No. It's Beloved by Toni Morrison. Okay, not that I can see either. Guys, I fear we're not gonna have one, and I fear it's gonna take me way too long to find one if we do. Okay, yeah, I don't think we're gonna have one. So, God, we are picking again for the 2nd time. 2 repicks. I don't think we've ever had that in a TBR. The last and 7th prompt again is gonna be this one. I'll let you guys see it again. What does that say? What was my last read? Opposite genre of the last book that I read. I cannot remember. That's terrible. Why can I not remember what the last book I read was? Okay, the last book that I read was First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston, which is an adult thriller. What is the opposite to an adult thriller? Like a romance? Because if so, we could do Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. And I feel like, again, mixing up the genres, a little bit of a light reading, I feel I'm gonna need it. Is that the only romance? No, okay, we also have The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, but I kind of want to wait until maybe like the end of the year, like winter. There is nothing that beats reading a Marina Zapata book in the winter. So I think we're gonna go for Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. Finally, I have been wanting to read this for so long. I met Hannah a couple of months ago and she is the loveliest, funniest person in real life, and hearing her talk about this book, honestly, like, I wanted to drop everything and read it there and then. I am so intrigued. I'm so excited. I am so full of joy that there is a really, really popular romance book with disability representation. I feel like that isn't common at all. I'm just so excited. I feel like I'm gonna love it, and because it's a romance, I feel like I'm gonna have a really fun, light-hearted time, which again, I'm gonna need. So yeah, the last book that I'm gonna be reading in September finally is Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. Damn, we have range for my September TBR. We literally have a romance, a short story collection, a light-hearted fantasy, a translated fiction, a terrifying epic fantasy, a modern classic, and a sort of like horror. I'm gonna have the time of my life, I fear. That, or I'm gonna be sobbing by the time that October comes around. If you have read any of these books, please let me know what you thought about them, whether you like them or you dislike them, which one I should get to first. If you want to see my experience reading any of these in any reading vlogs, definitely let me know, and I will try my hardest to fit them in. Equally, let me know what you plan to read in September. What is the first book that you're gonna read to get into your autumnal reading and the autumnal vibe? Or if you watched till the very end of the video and you don't know what to comment any autumnal emoji. I feel like that's the most fitting. As always, if you did enjoy this video and you are not yet subscribed, it would mean the world if you did consider doing so. I don't say this in every video, but because it's like my favorite time of the year, I'm so excited for all of the content I have coming, all of the books that I'm going to be reading. I would love to have you here during the best part of the year. And yeah, guys, as always, thank you so much for being here and for spending some time with me. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again very, very soon in another video.